I suppose you can guess what they call me.
Lefty?
No, Mr. Smart. I am employed by Chaos, the International Organization of Evil. My name is the Craw.
The Craw?
Oh, not the Craw. The Craw.
Oh, yes, the Craw.
Missed it by that much. Come from the land of the ice and snow. Hey! Maybe that's where they got it from. Oh, hello. Welcome to Friday Face Chook on the long weekend. It's a bit deserted in the old shopping centre. They're all off to the bush, I think. Hey! Or you're all off to the bush. Hello, audience. How you going? My name's Chris Quinlan. Face Chook live on a Friday as usual, and I'm talking about incorporation, getting incorporated. Okay? Not only is it a business term, for which I will go straight to the meanings. An incorporation. Oh, what have we got here? An incorporation. Incorporation.
According to ABLIS, business.gov.au, incorporation is a voluntary process which allows a not-for-profit club or community group to apply to become its own legal entity. The benefits of incorporation include protection of the members and office holders against personal liability for debts and other legal obligations of the organisation.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Okay, that's an incorporation. Oh, why not get incorporated? Yeah, there we go. Now what it is, what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about taking the triggers off just for a sec. They're quite rattly today. Oh, I love them so much. Oh, that's more normal. And what it is what I like to talk about on pure, straight up incorporations and incorporating techniques and incorporating limbs. And one of the first things I'd like to talk about is incorporating little things like just a simple thing to do. If you take your rudiments, like your paramadoodles, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, as a start. We always start with them. That business, single stroke, double stroke, paradiddle. And just do something as simple as right hand, right foot. So if you've got a paradiddle, put your right foot with your right hand. It's quite an interesting thing. When you're first learning rudiments as a teacher, when I'm first teaching rudiments, and you're sitting down with the practice pad and you're going right, left, right, right, left, left, paradiddle, all this sort of business. And then you ask the student, why not just move to a different drum? So you get... And it's really off-putting for some because now you have two separate surfaces, you see. So what goes on is when you're actually dealing with like that, you know, you want to try and get smooth and incorporate. Oh, that's what it's... That's where it comes from. So on, you see, that's what goes on. Now, what starts to happen is that if you, say, take your rudiments and then move to a symbol, I've often called these empty sounds because what happens is when you're just playing a normal symbol and then you try and play a paradiddle on that. I'm just using the paradiddle as a basis. It can be used for many, many things. But what happens then is that you get, I'll do paradiddle. Here's right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Now, what goes on now is that you can get into things like right hand, right foot. So let's be incremental. When we take something like a paramadoodle and you have right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, be incremental, where you put the bass drum on the first right hand. Second. All three. All the first three. Then all of them. Then do it with the double paradiddle, do it with the triple paradiddle, do it with your reverses, your inwards and your outwards. And there you have Steve Gadd. Oh! And then you're off. That's all right hand, right foot. And this is why I have the triggers. I've got, what have I got? The European folk kit, if you don't mind, umpire.
I suppose you can guess what they call me.
Lefty?
Oh, Mr. Smart. I am employed by Chaos, the international organization of evil. My name is the Craw.
The Craw?
Oh, not the Craw. The Craw.
Oh, yes, the Craw.
Hey, there you go, you see. And that's what you've got, you see. You can go. Come from the land of the ice and snow and where Get Smart goes. Oh, that's... There you go. And that what happens then is that with things like paramadoodles and stuff, you starting to get into a stylistic thing. See, can you hear it? It's all right hand, right foot. So I'll do it slowly. There it is there. Enough said. I'm going to go into a couple of people now. Steve Gadd is known for doing this in the 70s. It was quite the revelation. Who remembers The Leprechaun?
It kind of reminds me of that movie, The Leprechaun. You remember with that little guy
yeah.
who goes, I'm the Leprechaun. Garth, I'm the Leprechaun.
Cool it, okay?
I'm the Leprechaun.
Stop it, all right?
Don't try and steal me, pot of gold. Garth, chill.
They're the coming people.
What are
Have
those
the
monsters
luck,
to you, sweetie?
I'm not.
Sweetie.
Stop it.
Sweet. Pixie dust. Pixie dust. Sweetie, it's me.
what?
It's me.
Yeah.
The
Yeah!
Leprechaun.
Want to leave, but can't. Want to move.
Where are you going to move?
Get away, Leprechaun.
Are you going to move
man.
to Ireland? Because I'm the Leprechaun.
Got to go.
Album from Chick Corea where Steve Gadd burst onto the scene. Who remembers Night Sprite off that album? All this stuff. Wow, you know, who's this guy, Steve Gadd? And the other guy's Billy Cobham, and we know about them. But I'm going to go to a relatively obscure name now. And what I'm going to do now is say the name Alphonse Mouzon. Anyway, there he is. And what you've got with Alphonse Mouzon, he passed away in 2016, that terrible year when everyone was dropping off the perch. Who died this week? Oh, geez, I lost my stuff last week with Wayne Shorter. Anyway. Alphonse Lee Mouzon, November 21st, 1948 to December 25th, 2016, Christmas Day. Was an American jazz fusion drummer and the owner of Tenacious Records, a label that primarily released Mouzon's recordings. He was a composer, arranger, producer, and actor. He gained popularity in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The list goes on. But the reason I bring him up is because we have dear people like Steve Gadd, Night Sprite, Leprechaun. I am the Leprechaun. Where's my torch? And... sorry, that was a reference to Wayne's World there. And, yes, all right.
Not Craw, Craw!
It's the wrong one. Anyway, and he was terrific with things like that. I've got an album, a vinyl album in the next room. Who knows Patrick Moraz, who was the keyboard player for One Yes album, the Relayer album. He's a fantastic keyboard player. And he used Alphonse Mouzon as drummer on The Story of I. Pew, up there. Right hand, right foot, and that was very much a big thing, you know. This was all 1976, 75, 76. Chicory's Leprechaun album came out in 76, and then on it went from there. Oh, fantastic stuff, and that's pretty much what happened. Billy Cobham was doing it earlier with the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and by the mid-70s, it started to become a little bit like, are you a Cobham guy or a Steve Gadd guy, you know? Why can't we have both? And there you have it, you see. So what goes on with that is incorporation. Bum, bum. There it is there. Bum-ba-dum-ba-da-da-dum. Then what happens is, we'll move on now with another kind of incorporation, is a little bit more on the diagonal side, is that you have right hand, left foot. So one of the things that you can do with this is it says right hand, left foot. Now what happens is, when you're doing that, what starts to happen is your left hand can sort of drop in, drop out. I'll slow it down for the triplets there. Then what can happen is that while you've got your hi-hat going, your bass drum can drop in. And a chord. There you go. Sorry, it's Frank Zappa reference in that. So, what starts to happen? There it is there. Now, when you've got that kind of thing going, now we're going into John Henry Bonham and Led Zeppelin. Okay, so that's what goes on there. When you're watching one of his big, long solos, start to get that. That's the incorporation of the right hand and the left foot. Now, funnily enough, that isn't a John Bonham invention. That's more kind of what I was talking about last week with dear Wayne Shorter and his drummer when they were, Wayne Shorter and Tony Williams was with the Miles Davis Quintet, the second great quintet throughout the 1960s that I was talking about just last week. The man's got to have his continuity. A bombastic bass drum there, Chris. See that, you see. Now, when you're starting to incorporate, that's the word for tonight, what starts to happen with this is that when you're starting to do things like that, remember, regular watchers of the show, if you start putting the left hand in on the hi-hat, because the hi-hat is coming down, you're catching it on the way up. Check out the Dean and the new regime.
Thrill, thrill, thrill. Kill, kill, kill. Make a scene. Knock off a knee.
Reference to the sacred cows. And then when you're doing things like that, I call that a naturally opening hi-hat, because when you're just playing normally, there it is there. Okay, fine. But what happens is if you're playing that, starting to get into Stewart Copeland stuff now. Boot cam down there, we'll pick that up later on. Hello boot cam, so you get that kind of thing. If I just sort of go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And then mix it up a bit. Can you hear what? There's a Peter Gabriel track on the So album, 1986, and he's on the first track, Red Rain, and he's credited for hi-hat. That's it. Just played the hi-hat. Manu Cachet was playing the rest of the drums there, and he was just there. Oh, sorry, pardon me. No bass drum. Just a hi-hat. There it is. Lead Boots, Jeff Beck. Narada, Michael Walden. Geez, I'm a name dropper tonight, aren't I? That's my job. That's the B section of Lead Boots. It's off the Jeff Beck Wired album. And there you go. Put him up there. And yes. Incorporation. Hey, there you go. So who have I gone about tonight? Okay, what I've got is right hand, right foot. That kind of business, and do all your different little things. You see, that's what goes on there. And as I said, we know about Steve Gadd, Billy Cobham, at least I hope you do. I'll do a whole show on each of them, they're legends. But I like the obscurity. I like the more obscure dudes like Alphonse Mouzon. fantastic in his own way. Did great stuff. And there's that. We all know about John Henry Bonham. I didn't mention Ian Paice. They seem to be of the pair. Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple came up all together. They seem to be pairs. And there's that. And one of the things about John Bonham was the hi-hat. You'd always hear it. That's why I've got that there. I mean, the book up there, the drum techniques of John Bonham. It's not drum techniques, it's just charts. But the picture up there, it's got the hi-hat tambourine, so he could get heard. Right hand, left foot, the diagonal coordination. Ta-da! There you go. That's the right hand, left foot, like that. Now, there's plenty of little orchestration kinds of things, like incorporated, orchestrating when I say orchestration, being able to put it in different things. One of the things that I do is, because I do a lot of melody, because I do the triggers, there it is. When I do things like that, there's lots of triggers, so I need something else. So what happens is, what normally would be a rock beat, for those of you who have just watching, or just left, bye. What happens is that I'm explaining coordination. We would normally have that. Bum, bum, bum. There you go. So what I do is, by putting in the hi-hat there, it frees my right hand up. Has anyone ever caught the reference? Come from the land of ice and snow with a hot drink
And loving it.
So I better wrap the show up. There you go. Oh, Max. Yes, 99. There you go. So I'll go over everything again. Incorporated, to incorporate. Okay. Now, so there you go. Oh, my Lord, what's going on here? Oh! Oh, not Craw, Craw! Oh!
I suppose you can guess what they call me.
Lefty?